MzeroA Nation, I'm Kat, and we are at Oshkosh 2025. Today we are at the Pilot Mental Health Campaign with Kimberly.
Hello.
And she's going to tell us a little bit about the company and her experience with them.
Yeah, so the Pilot Mental Health Campaign, or the PMHC for short, we're a nonprofit advocacy group, and we're advocating for aeromedical reform as it relates to people getting their medicals or keeping their medicals when diagnosed with a mental health diagnosis, or even seeking out just therapy.
Yeah, absolutely. And so this is definitely a hot topic, a stigma in the aviation industry that we really want to get away from. So how are you guys, like what services do you offer? Who are these services for?
Yeah, so we're really focused on advocating and making change. We've been able to work with an advocacy group that is promoting a bill that we actually just got into Congress that's being voted on. It's got a lot of bipartisan support. It's called the Mental Health and Aviation Act. And it has a lot in it. So it'll involve changes in like the medical certification process. It'll have changes regards to changing the stigma around the way the FAA and just the aviation industry in general talks about and thinks about mental health, because right now there's kind of this fear-based culture of if I speak up, if I say something, I could lose my medical, I could lose my job, I could lose my hobby. And we really want to change that and focus on, okay, we're getting people healthy by getting mental health help, and that'll keep our guys safer. So
absolutely. And so if someone was looking to use your services, how would they go about that?
So they can go online at pmhc.org. They can also stop by our booth. We're here out at AirVenture 2002-2003 in Hangar B. And we have a ton of ways people can volunteer. You can be on different types of boards. We have medical board, LGBTQ board, veteran board, social media board. We go to different events like EAA and kind of promote our advocacy. The last couple of years we've been going to DC and talking to different different legal offices about promoting our cause. And we also accept donations, because as much as this is a volunteer-only organization, that money kind of helps us continue to advocate and get the changes that we've been seeing.
We're here with Chris at PMHC, and he is going to speak on the air traffic control side on how PMHC can help with mental health.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
So, air traffic controllers actually don't have medical clearances in the traditional first, second, or third class clearance sort of way. Their medical clearance is maintained by the FAA. It's in the 3930.3, which is an FAA order that basically outlines all the air traffic controller medical standards. But to that end, it kind of mirrors a second-class medical in most aspects. In some aspects, it kind of goes a little bit beyond that.
Okay.
On the mental health side, it's kind of the same thing. So if a controller were to go and talk to a therapist and get a diagnosis of, say, adjustment disorder or generalized anxiety or something, historically, that would have kicked them out and required them to get a special issuance medical. A little bit of that changed back in May of 2024. The FAA as a whole said, these diagnoses, now your AME can issue them. You don't have to go through the special issuance process.
Okay.
Part of what we're doing at PMHC is we're pushing for common sense medical reform through legislation, changes to regulations, changes to process at all levels of government. So the changes that we would get with the Mental Health and Aviation Act, which is currently on the floor for a vote in the House, that would also impact air traffic controllers and allow them to get care that they need. It would reduce the barriers just like it would for pilots.
Absolutely, that's amazing. You guys are really helping all aspects of the aviation community. We're here with Paige. She's one of the advocates for PMHC. And Paige, tell us a little bit about PMHC, what inspired you guys to start, and how you help other pilots.
Of course. So PMHC is an organization started in 2023. It was inspired by a lot of pilots who have experienced issues with the current aeromedical process at the FAA. A lot of us have run into our own barriers with the FAA when it comes to getting our medical certification. So as a part of that, we realized we're not alone, there are undoubtedly other pilots experiencing this as well, and controllers and dispatchers alike.
Yep.
And we can do something about the way the process is now to make it more fair and to make it more transparent.
Okay, very cool. And what type of services do you offer if someone were watching our video and they're like, oh, I feel like I'm dealing with that? How do you kind of categorize them or something like that?
Sure. So to somebody who is dealing currently with the FAA's medical process and is maybe in deferral or has been denied, we try to share all the resources that we have. So we have connections. In addition to that, we also have community. Most of the people who are involved in volunteering with PMHC have been through their own or are currently going through their own struggles trying to get their medical certification initially or back. So we offer a lot of peer support in that way, but also we can refer people to their appropriate peer support groups. So people who are in the airlines might have other resources available to them. In general aviation, we have connections with other peer support groups that we can then send them to as well. And for anybody who is looking to volunteer or be involved, it's a really easy onboarding process. You can just go to our website, pmhc.org/join, and then you can check the box that says, I would like to be a volunteer. You answer a couple of quick questions about yourself, what you might be interested in doing with PMHC, and then somebody will reach out to you to onboard you, and then you can select committee or committees that you would like to be a part of.
That's amazing, because I know a lot of people who are going through this right now, they feel, like they're alone. So it's nice that you guys have not only the advocacy to help them, but also to support them.
Absolutely. That is our goal. We want legislative change that is appropriate and safe for pilots, controllers, anybody who needs a medical certificate. We want to make it more accessible to everybody, and we want to destigmatize it and bring attention to it for the people who are going through it, but also for the people who haven't experienced it but know that the cockpits would be safer if legislation was different than it is now.
Absolutely. And then do you have any advice for someone who, may be wanting to join in terms of needing your help? Like, should they go to your website?
Yes, absolutely. So if you are at all interested in joining or looking to get connected with resources or get connected with your local representatives, pmhc.org is the place that you want to be. We have all the different tabs in there depending on if you're looking for our newsletter and updates in legislation and with the FAA, or if you are looking to volunteer or just become an advocate, our website will take you there. pmhc.org/join is going to take you to that splash page where you can learn more about being a volunteer or being an advocate. We always tell people to reach out to their local congresspeople, their local senators, because that grassroots effort really helps, and that is what has helped us get some sponsors for some of our bills that are currently trying to get passed through.
That's amazing. Well, thank you for your time today, Paige, and thank you guys for what you do.
Thank you. I appreciate it.